So pneumoconiosis is defined as a group of lung diseases. So these diseases result in lung scarring and impaired breathing. And common types include, silicosis that is caused by inhaling crystalline silica dust. We have coal workers pneumoconiosis, also known as the black lung disease caused by the coal dust. Then we have asbestosis, which is caused by inhaling asbestos fibers, and symptoms also include shortness of breath, chronic cough, and fatigue. So pneumoconiosis is preventable through effective dust control, proper ventilation, and the use of the PPEs, such as the respirators. Then let's move on to the next terminology called a hearing loss. Hearing loss in occupational settings is often caused by the prolonged exposure to high noise levels, commonly referred to as noise-induced hearing loss. And we all know how hearing loss is some of the causes are due to loud machine equipment and blasting operations, and then you have failure to use hearing protection, such as the earplugs, can also cause the hearing loss. And there are two main types of the hearing loss. We have the temporary hearing loss and then the permanent hearing loss. So with the temporary hearing loss, it resolves after exposure ends. You see, when you are being exposed to the noise, when someone calls you, you don't even hear it. But immediately after the equipment stops operating and the noise stops, when someone mentions your name, you hear. That is a temporary hearing loss. So if you are in a noisy environment and someone calls your name and you don't hear, you are sick. That is temporary hearing loss. Repeated occurrences can also lead to, permanent hearing loss. So the permanent one, that one is irreversible damage to the inner ear caused by the prolonged or extreme noise exposure. So we should take note of that. Then we have the next terminology called musculoskeletal disorders. Musculoskeletal disorders are injuries or disorders affecting the muscles, bones, joints, tendons, ligaments, or nerves, often caused by repetitive movements, awkward postures, or over exertion. So common examples of musculoskeletal disorders include back pain, which often is due to heavy lifting or poor ergonomics. Then we have carpal tunnel syndrome, which is caused by repetitive hand movement or vibrations. Then you have tendinitis. So that one too is also caused by the inflammation of the tendons from overuse. So symptoms of musculoskeletal disorders may include pains, stiffness, swelling, or reduced range of motions. So if you want to prevent musculoskeletal disorders, it involves improving ergonomics, providing regular breaks, proper training on lifting techniques, and encouraging physical fitness. So some of us who normally sit, especially the dump truck operators, the excavator operators, the jumbo operators or whatever, we normally sit down for long. So normally when we get up, we will be experiencing some waist pain and all that. It's a musculoskeletal disorder. It is also an injury. So we shouldn't think that it's just a normal pain. It is also an injury which needs medical attention. Then let's now move to roof bolting. Roof bolting is a ground control technique used in underground mining to stabilize the mine roof and prevent collapses. It involves inserting long bolts into the rock strata above the working area to reinforce and hold the layers together. There have several types of roof bolts, and then some being the tension bolts. The tension bolt, which normally applies active force to hold the rock layers in place. They have the friction bolt, which relies on friction between the bolts and the drilled hole for stabilization. Then you see, roof bolting uh, generally improves safety by reducing the risk of rock falls or roof collapses, which are among the most common hazards in underground mining. So proper installation and monitoring are critical for effectiveness and all that. Then we have the next terminology called blasting safety. So blasting safety refers to the precautions and measures taken to protect workers and equipment during explosive operations, such as blasting rock in mining, construction or demolition industries. So that is that. Then let's move to the next terminology called mine ventilation. And of course, mine ventilation is the process of introducing and circulating fresh air in an underground mine to ensure breathable air quality, control temperature and humidity, and remove harmful gases, dust, and vapors. So key objectives of these mine ventilation systems in the mining industry, especially with respect to underground mines. One of them is oxygen supply, pollutant control, temperature and humidity control, and all that. So effective mine ventilation is critical for maintaining a safe and healthy underground work environment, thereby reducing the risk of respiratory diseases, explosions, and heat-related illness. Then we have ground control. Ground control refers to the methods and techniques used to prevent rock falls, collapses, or other structural failures in underground mines. It is very, very essential for the safety and stability of mining operations. Very, very essential. Then we have toolbox talks. So toolbox talks, also known as the safety briefings or the safety meetings, are short, informal meetings where workers are briefed on specific safety topics before beginning work or during shift changes and all that. So these talks are typically held on site and cover topics such as safety hazards, safety procedures, PPE requirements, emergency response, and all that. So toolbox talks are a key part of fostering a safety culture, thereby ensuring that workers are always aware of risk and safety measures before the commencement of any task in the mines. Then we have hazard recognition training. Hazard recognition training involves teaching workers how to identify potential hazards in the workplace to prevent accident and injuries. This type of training is crucial for improving safety awareness and all that. So key elements includes, hazard identification, risk assessments, safety procedures, behavioral changes, and all that. So hazard recognition training is very, very important. is very, very essential, especially in high-risk industries like mining, where early identification of potential hazards can save lives and prevent injuries.